Welcome back to our dimensional analysis class. In this session, we will be talking about percent conversion techniques, ratio, and proportion. Let us recall the definition of percent. What is percent? Percent means by the hundred or for every 100. To start with the percent conversion techniques, let's start converting a percent to decimal. To change percent to decimal, remove the sign of percent and move the decimal point 2 places to the left, see example. Changing percent to fraction. To change a percent to a fraction, change the sign of percent with the denominator 100 and reduce the resulting fraction to lowest terms, if possible. Next, changing percent with fractional part to decimal. In changing percent with a fractional part to decimal, change first the fractional part to decimal up to the desired number of decimal places, and then remove the sign of percent and move the decimal point 2 places to the left. Changing percent with fractional part to fraction. To change a percent with a fractional part to a fraction, change the percent to improper fraction. Change the sign of percent with the denominator 100. Simplify the resulting complex fraction and reduce the simplified fraction to lowest terms, if possible. Changing decimal to percent. To change a decimal to percent, move the decimal point 2 places to the right and annex the sign of percent. Changing fraction to percent. There are actually 2 ways to convert fraction to percent. First way to change a fraction to percent, change the fraction to decimal. Move the decimal point 2 places to the right and annex the sign of percent. Second way to change a fraction to percent. Multiply the fraction by 100. Change the resulting improper fraction to a whole or mixed number and annex the sign of percent. Changing whole or mixed number to percent. There are also 2 ways to change whole or mixed number to percent. First way to change a whole or mixed number to percent. In decimal form, move the decimal point 2 places to the right. But in case of a mixed number, change first the fraction to decimal before moving the decimal point 2 places to the right. Second way to change a whole number or mixed number to percent. In fractional units, just multiply the whole numbers by 100%. Change the mixed number to improper fraction and multiply it by 100 and change the result to mixed number and annex the sign of percent. Now, let us recall the definition of ratio. What is ratio? Ratio is an expression of the comparative relationship between 2 like numbers or quantities. The numbers that indicate the comparative relationship between 2 similar numbers or quantities are called the terms of the ratio. There are 3 ways to express ratio. 1. Using the word to. 2. Using colon. 3. As a fraction. There are also 3 common uses of ratio. 1. Use for comparison. Example. The ratio of Pedro's money to Juan's money is 2 to 1. This means that the money of Pedro is twice the money of Juan. Second use of ratio. Use in solving unequal division of quantity. For example, the amount of PHP 3000.00 is to be divided according to the following ratios, 1, 2, 3. Third use of ratio is used in scaling, usually employed in map making. Next we have proportion. What is proportion? Proportion is the equality of 2 ratios. The terms of a proportion are represented by the letters A, B, C, and D. A over B equals C over D. Or A is to B equals C is to D. The outer terms, A and D, are called the extremes. And the middle terms, B and C, are called the means. Rule to remember. The product of the extremes equals the product of the means. That is, AD equals BC. That's all for this session, class. Thank you for viewing and listening to this presentation. I hope this presentation helps you in your study.